Who's to blame? That's the word choice of losers.
Again, I find myself in the position to kind of figure out how and what order I want to talk about things here. I got this clip of Greg Abbott that you may have seen of him saying, using the word blame that's the language of losers. Why would we want to get to the bottom of something in order to remove the people who made mistakes, in order to safeguard the American people and Texans? Most importantly in Texas, Texans. So when he asks the question, or he makes the statement that word choice is the word choice of losers, blame, I just want to bring this to your attention. This is a tweet with a video that I'm not going to play for you, but he pretty much says the same thing in the video from September 27th, 2023. This is from Greg Abbott. Remember, that's the word choice of losers. Who's to blame? Texas has bused over 15,800 migrants to New York City. Joe Biden is responsible for the overwhelming majority of migrants here right now. Americans are waking up to the reality of Biden's open border policies. Biden, not Texas, is to blame for this crisis. Biden is to blame for this crisis, says the man that is getting ready to tell you that seeking blame is the language of losers. And you might say to yourself, well, Jesse, that was about something different. It's not about people dying. That's not about people drowning. Clearly, obviously, most assuredly, there's not a tweet out there where the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is blaming someone else for people drowning in his state, right? I think you can tell by the snark that is the case. There is a tweet. This one is from January 17th of just last year, 2024. Biden was clearly wrong to blame Texas for deaths in the Rio Grande. Ken Paxton, Texas, has the receipts to prove it. Biden is to blame for the drownings, says Greg Abbott. The same Greg Abbott that you'll see in this clip saying that seeking blame, seeking answers when there was a preventable tragedy, is the language of losers.
Who's to blame? Know this. That's the word choice of losers. Let me explain one thing about Texas. And that is, Texas, every square inch of our state cares about football. You could be in Huntsville, Texas, Houston, Texas, any size community, they care about football. High school, Friday night lights, college football, or pro. And know this, every football team makes mistakes. The losing teams are the ones that try to point out who's to blame. The championship teams are the ones that say, don't worry about it, man, we got this. We're going to make sure that we go score again, and we're going to win this game. The way winners talk is not to point fingers. They talk about solutions. What Texas is all about is solutions. In fact, I want to read you something that I received last night that's worth emphasizing to put this in context. Tragedy has come. That part is done. What we do now, who we are now, that's what the story is still being written. Let it be one of grace, of grit, of fierce love in the face of grief. Let it be the kind of story that proves that the hill country may flood, but it does not fail. Say what you will about Texas, but when the rivers rise, so do we. Not with blame, not with bitterness, but with boots on the ground, arms around strangers, and hearts wide open. That's the Texas I know, and that's the America that I believe in. What this person wrote is what I know is true for all Texans and what we will achieve every single day.
Look, all of this is a little amusing because it's Republican hypocrisy. Version 1,275,612, whatever. But the problem here is that it's very serious. And the reason we seek who to blame, where it went wrong, is to correct mistakes. The death toll right now is like nearly 110 people, many of them children, dozens of them children. And there's like 160, what's the number here? 180 missing, which means the death toll will be nearly 300 when this is all said and done. We want to know why. We want to know who should lose their jobs. Obviously, Donald Trump and Elon Musk gutted the federal government when he came to office, slashed funding in this budget for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, for the National Weather Service, for early warning systems. Nearly 1,000 employees at NOAA were fired, unceremoniously, unjustified. And this is the result. So we do want to know, so we can correct those mistakes. It's not the language of losers. The language of losers, Greg Abbott, is to allow cops who sat on their hands while the wholesale slaughter of children took place in Uvalde. That's the language of losers. The language of losers is to act like this when it's not about you, but then when an actual tragedy does take place like this, you you say, don't look this way. Don't point the finger. Don't place blame. It's the same thing Donald Trump does. It's the same thing Ted Cruz does. It's the same thing Greg Abbott does. It's the same thing the Republican Party does, because they are immune. They are allergic to accountability. They're not immune from accountability. They want to be, but they don't want any accountability. They don't want any consequence for their irresponsible behavior, for their irresponsible policies, for the things that predicated the tragedies that we've seen, whether that be for the FAA and planes crashing and falling out of the sky under Donald Trump's watch for the same reason, gutting the FAA, gutting the budgets, firing people who have very important jobs. But the language of losers is hypocrisy. That's the true language of losers if we're getting into it. With your weird football metaphor, famed football talent Greg Abbott giving us a Tommy Tuberville answer about football. It's gross. It diminishes the actual loss of life. It's disgusting. What do you think? I would appreciate your feedback on this story. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you want to help support independent media, and if I am that independent media source that you appreciate, if I bring you value, click the join button, and for $2 a month, you can help support this work. You can also go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. That's just another funding mechanism for this work. I would appreciate it very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.